morning everybody, it's Micheline from Micheline Makes. You can just see here I've got little white ears here. Troublemakers here. Troublemaker. Yesterday we were sitting in the sitting room and we could hear this noise going on in one of the other rooms, and His Lordship kept saying, "What's that noise? What's that noise?" And he looked in the kitchen, couldn't see anything. And then we looked into the conservatory. This little thing, who never ever catches anything, had a little baby bird on the floor. And she was playing with it. And I quickly ran in. Brian said, "God, you won't believe what she's got on the floor." And he, typical man, didn't do anything. So I rushed in, whipped this poor little bird up into my hands, and its heart was going 10 to the dozen, really, you know, and it was going, and I was stroking it, trying to stroke it, and I thought, just calm it down. And I thought, right, let's just hold it, keep it away from the cat, let's just calm it down. And the poor little thing, when I looked at its chest, there was a little bit of blood on its chest, a little baby sparrow. And all of a sudden, I said, get a box. So I was going to put it in a box. And I'm holding this little bird, and it just seemed to go, and then it went, and just died. I was in such a state. I said, that horrible cat, this thing that you can just see the ear of, that horrible cat has killed this little bird. And here's Trouble's friends come as well, the other one, haven't you? So I was not best pleased. However, it's the first and only time she's been able to catch a bird. I don't know how she managed it, because she sits and watches them, but she usually, because of her being white, she never normally catches them. But unfortunately yesterday she did, and we had to have a very nice burial for that poor little dicky bird, just a baby as well. I kept thinking, oh, I could raise it and then I could teach it to come and fly off my hand, but it wasn't to be. It died within minutes, bless it. But at least it died in my hands. So anyway, thank you everyone. I'm shutting this door. Thank you everyone for those wonderful email messages that you sent me about my gammy leg. Now, gammy is Geordie for bad leg. I've got a gammy leg. It's on the mend. It's doing well, as if it doesn't belong to me. It's getting much better. I'm really, things are looking on the up. I'm walking properly. I'm not limping. I'm not complaining. However, I just read today one lady who said she had the same thing. And yes, I look like just the way you've described it. I can't remember what your name is again. If I can remember, I'll put your name up there. But she was saying, when I got it, it looked like my skin started to peel. Well, yes, because your leg gets wider and wider and wider, and it stretches your skin. And then once it starts going back, all this skin, it's like as if you've got sunburn, it all starts flaking off. And I was covered every time. I've been wearing flight socks to cause to compress the swollen area. And of course, when I took them off, there was all this dead skin all over the place. It was horrible. I shouldn't be talking about it. It's not very nice. It's something you don't really want to know. But anyway, I'm putting lots and lots of moisturiser on. I'm getting back to normal. I am feeling very pleased with myself. Now then, first of all, I'm way behind on this. Do you remember this? The quilting calendar, the quilting block and pattern a day calendar. Well, look at the date there. Can you see what date it is? Can you see what date it is? It is Thursday, April the 16th. So I've been very remiss, and that's the last time I showed you it. So let me see if I can find. I'm going to quickly whiz through this because we are well past April. We're now into July. And what I'll do is I'll just show you the batches. That's the Thursday, April the 16th one. And that's the design that this makes. And it is a 40-inch by 40-inch overall size, 4x4 and 6x6 blocks. And 16 by 16 finished. So I think that those are 16 by, no, those are 16 by 16, the 4 squares together. So I won't go through them all. Will you stop pushing me? I won't go through them all, but that's basically that pattern there. And that takes us to the 23rd of April. So what's the next one? Let me put that in the back and show you what the 23rd of April. I like the 23rd of April one. It's quite nice. And this is the 23rd of April one. Can you see that one? Every time I go near here, this cat wants me to stroke it. The black cat's going out the door. Anyway, that's the 23rd of April one. Can you see that? That I do like. I think that's rather nice. With little flowery things on it. There. And then the next one after that, that one is a, what size is it? 74 by 74, block size 12 by 12 finished, and there's 25 blocks. So that one there is 74 by 74. And then the next one takes us to, if I can get in there, this is the 29th of April. And where does that take me to? Oh, she's having a look at you there. She wants to see what you're doing. Are you going to see? She's having a right old look, aren't you? Can you see that pussycat on there? That's the naughty pussycat that killed a dicky bird. I wonder who that was. Yeah. Anyway, this one is Wednesday the 29th of April. And this is 48 by 48, block size is 12 by 12, and there are 9 blocks. Sorry about this, folks. Never work with animals and children. Neither of them work very well. You can see yourself in that mirror, in the camera, can't you? You can see yourself in there. And you're wondering who's that white pussycat, aren't you? You're saying who's that white pussycat there, aren't you? Are you saying who that white pussycat is? Eh? And then Friday the 1st of May. And this is, oh, that's a nice one. Friday the 1st of May is that one. That's a pretty coloured one. Wheel of Fortune quilt, and it is 64 inches by 88. Each block size is 8 by 8 and 16 by 16 finished, and the block count is 12 and 9 respectively, if you know what all that is about. I can't get much done here because trouble is right in the way. So I'll show you that one again. That one is called Wheel of Fortune quilt. Then, oh yes, the man with the plan is looking through the window. Are you coming in? We might as well have you in on. We've had the white cat in. White cat's taken over the camera, and I thought you didn't like that cat.
I don't like the cat. I do like the camera.
They're all getting in on the scene, aren't you?
I've had enough now.
You've had enough, have you?
Yeah.
Right.
Footy. I'm on.
Oh, he's been watching the football.
I'm watching the football.
But
Manchester United. Come on.
Are they winning?
2-1.
Does that mean they're winning?
Yeah.
I always say, are they winning? And he says 2-1.
Well,
now that to me, doesn't that tell me if they're winning?
They're winning 2-1.
Right.
They're winning 2-1, but they're not playing.
Yeah, but if I'm saying, are they winning? You should say, yes, they're winning 2-1.
Yes, they're winning 2-1. But they're not playing particularly well.
Right. Am I getting my coffee yet, or is that later?
I'll give you a kiss.
Right. So the next one is Thursday, May the 7th. And this one, if I can quickly do this one, is... Oh, this is a long one, this one. Golly, this is such a long one. This goes from Thursday, May the 7th, wow, to Monday the 1st of June. And that is this one. Let's see if you can get it. Can you see it there? This is called the Garden Fantasy Quilt Lily. Oh, there's different blocks. Garden Fantasy Quilt, and it does all the different flowers there. There's all these pages. I'll see if I can flick through to show you. How can I do this without... I'll do it this way. This way. And it shows you how to do all the quilts, all the flowers like that. Telling you which way to do them. I think I put two together there, but we'll just keep flicking through. Like that. You get a lot of flowers. I'm kind of missing some out here. I can feel that I'm missing some out. And it takes us right to 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th and 31st. And so that is it's called the Garden Fantasy Quilt. And its finished size is 60 by 60. With each block size 10 inches by 10 inches finished. So that's a nice one, that one. Now then the next one. We're into June, ladies, into June. June, oh golly, it's another long one. Another long one. June, right. From the 1st of June to the 12th of June is this one. And this one is the Celebrate Flowers Quilt. Cobblestone alternate block. Oh no, the cobblestone alternate block is that last one there. Oh, you're no end of bother, are you? Yes, so much bother. Right. You're a trouble. You really are a trouble, miss. And it measures 63 by 63. The block size is 6 inches by 6 inches and 12 inches by 12 inches finished. I'm not a quilter. I do not know what it means by that, but those of you who are quilters will know what it's talking about. The next one is Saturday the 13th of June, which takes us to, that's an unusual one. Saturday the 13th is that one. There, can you see that? That's better. And it's called For the Birds Quilt. Can't you see this? I've got to keep giving it tickles. For the Birds Quilt, and it measures 59 by 62. The block size is 4 inches by 4 inches and 6 by 6 and 12 by 12 finished. Again, I don't know what it's talking about. Then our next one is a kiddie's quilt, I think, a little boy's quilt. It looks like a little boy's quilt, but can I get this paper without you needing me to stroke you, missy? It's right trouble. This one takes us to the 24th of June, and it is a monster one. It looks like a monster one. Anyway, let me just get that in focus for you there. Can I get focus there? And it's like got a monster in the middle, and it's called My Outer Space Buddy Quilt, and it measures measures 39 by 39. Block size is 6 by 6 and 5 by 6.5 and 15 by 15 finished. The other one's trying to be in now. Oh dear me, she's come in. What did we say? Never work with kids and animals. Anyway, the next one takes us to... Where does this take us to? Takes us to... From Thursday the 25th to Thursday the 30th of June. And this one is a tea and coffee one. I don't know if you can... Tea and coffee, there you go. That is called the Have a Cuppa Quilt. It's a 9-patch block. And the finished block is... Trouble and a friend. Finished block is 33 by 33. Block size is 3 inches by 3 inches and 7 by 7 finished. So that's that one. We're nearly getting there, ladies, nearly getting there. And this one takes us to, oh, this is a long one. Is that the same as that one? Yeah. Oh, this is a very long. Oh, this is an extremely long one. It is. Oh, this takes us to next week. This takes us to next week. Oh, she's cleaning herself now. This is from Wednesday the 1st of July to Tuesday the 21st of July. And today is the Monday the 13th. So I'm going to be stretching past into next week. And that's that one. That is a very nice one with all different shapes and patterns. And it's called Stairway to the Stars quilt. And it says it's a Stairways to the Stars quilt. And if I can get the measurements for you, 70 by 76, block size 6 by 12 and 12 by 12 finished. Very nice, that one. I like that. Very colourful. So that's that one. So I'm going to stop there because the next one is for next week. So we've caught up on our quilts for you. Now then, what am I going to tell you about now? Somebody asked me, somebody in recent messages said, could you tell us how you ordered your glasses online? So yes, I can. I was going to do it the other week, but with lockdown, I think a lot of these, I think the company that I deal with is supposedly an American company, but it gets the stuff from China. And I think because of the coronavirus, everything shut down, and on their website they said they couldn't deal with any orders. So I think it's open now, but I'll show you how I order from the site that I usually order from, and you can basically, it's basically the same format for any website that you're ordering from. So in the next vlog I shall do a little rundown on how to order glasses online. What else do I want to tell you today? It's getting dark, almost twilight. I don't know how this is, how you're able to still see me, because I can hardly see. I can't see her over there. She's as black as anything. It might come out lighter in this daylight here. Can you see her? There she is. And this one here. Are you there as well? Look there. You're not. Oh, she's not talking. I'm busy on doing some engraving plates. What else do I want to tell you? Well, it's more of a natter one, this one, but let's get you over there because I'm kind of falling off the page, aren't I? Woo. That's better. Recent news. Now, a few weeks back, you might have seen, I think it was the time that I went to Micheline, I said that I dropped His Lordship off at work and he was going to talk to the neighbour. Well, he was talking to the neighbour because he's been priming the neighbour for ages about buying our building. And what happened was, we bought the building quite a few years back, and it was worth a certain amount of money. The recession came and the banks wanted to revalue everything, and the value of the building was the same as it was that we bought it for, so we thought great. Then a couple of years back we got the same valuer to come and value the place, and she valued it at half the price. And she said, unfortunately, commercial buildings aren't doing very well because nobody wants them now. And we thought, oh my goodness me, we can't retire until we sell the building, and if nobody wants the building, then what are we going to do? So he said, I'm going to work on the people next door. And the people next door are, we think, that Iraqi refugees. They came to England just after the recession, I think it was, around 2010. And they bought the buildings to one side of us and the car park behind us, and they paid not a great amount of money for it. And the buildings that they have on the side, there's a cafe, there's a pizza place, there's a cafe, a pizza place, a sweet shop, and then a takeaway, pizza takeaway. So there's 2 pizza places, but they're different ones. And I think they own the buildings. I'm not even sure if it's family of theirs that run them, because I know the cafe isn't run by them, but the other ones, they're run by foreigners who may be Iraqi. I have no idea. Anyway, His Lordship has been priming them, and he kept saying, you should buy our building, you need to buy our building. It's, you know, if we offer me a good price and would buy our building. So anyway, when the lockdown started and the government asked us to work from home, we decided to work from home. And in a sense, as I said, it's normally January, well, not January, March to July is the Christmas period for trophies, because all the sports events have their presentations, schools have their presentations at the end of term. There's fun runs, there's marathons, there's all sorts of things going on. And of course we didn't have that, because all the sporting venues and everything stopped. So we went from that high in income to that income for him, and he hasn't really had anything to do. So we basically closed the business down and worked from home. I was mainly doing all the work for my side. And anyway, the phone went one day, and it was the gentleman from next door, and he said, I haven't seen you round, what's happening? And Brian said, well, he says, we're working from home, you know, we've not got much business at the moment, we're working from home. And then he said, I want to buy the building off you. Woo-hoo-hoo! So anyway, as you do with people from the Middle East or whatever, you barter. And so he spent a lot of time bartering with them, and eventually got a good valuation from them. Better than what the estate agent valued, but not as much as what it was we actually bought the building for. But we really didn't think we'd get much more for it. And to be honest, we were thinking that with the coronavirus and a lot of business are failing, or, you know, collapsing, we actually thought we were going to be lumbered with this building. We wouldn't be able to do anything with it. So we grabbed his hand and said, shook on it and said, yeah, you can have it. And the deal is all happening on Friday. It's all being cut and dried on Friday. So we have a building to empty. Fortunately, he's been very nice, because he says you don't have to empty it straight away. You can leave the stuff, because he's not ready to do anything to it. And he says you can empty it when you want. So a few weeks back, I think I showed you, we were going to have a look at a container at the airport. Well, we're thinking about putting a lot of the stuff in there until we've got more time to sift through it and get rid of it. So that's what's happening at the moment. We are retiring from the building. He still wants to carry on doing trophies, but he's going to basically get the supplies to do most of the work, and just temporarily for a year, and then we'll just back off and gradually fade into the distance and go into retirement. However, at the moment I'm not doing much retiring, because I've still got plenty of work to do. So we'll just have to see how mine goes. But I'm being very popular at the moment, so I don't mind. And it keeps me busy. It makes me do. I'm doing a stint of work on a morning from about 9:30 until 2 o'clock, when I go up and post the post, and then after that the rest of the day is my own generally. So there you go. So that is the excitement that's happening for us. So we have an awful lot of stuff to empty. We're bringing stuff in that's being dumped down here again. I already have an engraving machine over there, which you probably can't see because it's not dark. I'll have to put the light on. Hang on. If I pull that down. Ooh, different kind of light. A subdued light, and I look slightly different in colour now. Anyway, so I've got one machine there, and we're going to take this. At the moment I have a table here and another table at right angles here, and so what we're going to do is this table is going to be moved into another part of the house so that he can put his heat press and his guillotine on it. The guillotine, I think, is over there. I don't know if you can see it, but he wants to put that on a table elsewhere. I'm going to get a bigger desk that sweeps round. That we're bringing that from work, and it's a really nice curved one, so I'm going to use that. And then my other engraving machine is probably going to go into that corner because that's a big one, and I'm the only one that can use it, so it's going to be my engraving machine. So for the moment, for the next coming year, I shall have two machines, one there and one there, and amongst other things, amongst my sewing machines as well. So it's not exactly looking very tidy at the moment because we keep going to work and bringing a car full of stuff back, and we're basically chucking whatever we can into boxes and bringing them home, and then from there, because we'll have more time, we're just going bin, keep, bin, 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 keep, bin, 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 bin. And this morning he went into shed number 1, and he was tired. He was changing the shelving and everything round, and he came back out and he said, I've got to stop. And I said, what's the matter? He says, if I don't stop now, he says, I'm going to get a skip and chuck everything in. He says, I'm fed up with it all. And I said, well, why don't we just do that and chuck everything in the skip? And he says, no, because he says, I really don't want to be throwing half the stuff away, but he says, I'm getting fed up with it all. It's far too much. So sadly, we seem to be, we have 3 sheds, including this one. This is shed number 3, or the fortress of solitude. Oh, which, by the way, when my grandson came the other day, he said, Grandma, your little house is called the Fortress of Solitude. And I said, do you know what that is? He says, yeah. He says, Superman's den. He says, you've got a den just like Superman. So anyway, the problem is we have these sheds, and when my father and mother died, we had to empty their house. So we ended up bringing a lot of their stuff and putting it in the sheds. And then we decided that, you know, this is silly. We had dining chairs and tables that had been bequeathed to us, and I said, I'm never going to use this dining chair. I know my mother treasured them, but they've lost their style. They're not, you know, she thought they were lovely, but they're not the kind of thing that I would want in my house. So in the end, we gave those to charity. Then we stacked a lot of pictures in this shed. And he pulled them out and he says, what do you want me to do with these pictures? And I said, well, should we keep it? Should we throw it away? I don't really want to keep it. I don't really want to throw it away, but I don't want to keep it. And he said, well, if you keep it, we should put it on the wall. And I said, yeah, but I don't really want it on the wall. So we're kind of humming and hawing. And he says, I think we should just throw everything away. And he said, you know, when we die, he says, the kids won't want all this lot. Let's just get rid of it now. So we are gradually trying to declutter. Definitely got to get rid of a lot of stuff. And I can see why, because there is an awful lot of, a lot of stuff that I've got no intention of using, that he's got no intention of using, and what's the point of keeping it? So we are steadily working our way through that, and I keep saying to him, leave it till autumn, because autumn we won't have much to do. Autumn's going to be cold and dark, and we'll potter around in the sheds and choose what we want to bin and what we don't want to bin. So that is all the story so far. He's trying to clear room to bring the next batch of stuff in from work, and I'm trying to bin half the stuff, and he's trying to bin half the stuff. We've got camping gear in a shed that when he said, do you think we'll ever go camping again? And I said, well, actually, I doubt it, because I said, the last time we went camping, we bought this camping gear, and it must be at least about 8 or 10 years ago, and we went to France. And we took the camping gear with us. Well, I used to love camping. And I think we had 2 nights in this tent. And after that we said, oh, golly, no. Let's go and find a hotel. And we stopped in a hotel for the rest of the holiday. So I said, you know, we might just as well get rid of the tent and all the camping equipment. So he's asked everybody if they want the tent, and nobody wanted it. So I think it's going to have to be advertised to sell or something, or just, you know, free cycle or give it away. But anyway, we are slowly but surely getting there. It's going to take a while, but eventually we will be decluttered of a lot of things. And, well, I've been talking to you for how long? I can't remember. Where is it? 29 minutes. 29 minutes. I must have bored you. I've got cat hairs all over my face now. I don't know how. And so, could have it underneath like this, you see, going across there. Something like that. What do you call them? Modesty. A modesty panel. So I won those. I think I won them for about a couple of quid, £2, not very much. So that was one batch that I won. And the other one, this is rather nice. It's in a taupe colour or a beigey colour. Not my favourite colour, not the colour I like, but it's a lot. There's a good length here. It says on here 25 yards. I don't think there's actually 25 yards, but it's actually, it looks like it's been hand crocheted. I don't know if you can see that. Hand crocheted. It's beautiful. Beautiful, crochet. Lace. It's not lace, really. It's like a crocheted panel. So I've got to find something that I can do with that. Whether I dye it or whether I just use it like that. As I say, it's not one of my favourite colours. But it's lovely. Actually, I've just noticed there's a fault in it. Spot the fault. Can you see the fault? I don't know if you can see the fault there. Those are crosses. And then that one, this row here, the crosses are all different. Ha-ha! So that was something I got. I think the whole lot there came to £5, £4 or £5. There was nobody else had bid on it, and I thought, well, I'll put a bid on it, and it was, I won. This is what I'm wearing at the moment. I pulled it out of my wardrobe. I've never worn it for a year or two, and it's called a ballet dress. I think it was called the ballet dress. It was a free pattern, got pockets on, starting to meet where it touches mine. But it's, I'm not sure if the sleeves were meant to be short sleeves, but I quite liked it, and I like the way it's got the pockets. So I got it out, and I thought, oh, I've been wearing, because of my gammy leg, I've been wearing dresses all the time. And the neighbour across the road, she sews, and she keeps saying, when she comes out, she says, she's trying to lose weight, bless her. She keeps coming out and saying, you've got the most beautiful dresses. Every day you turn out with a beautiful dress. And I said, well, it's because I want to cover my gammy leg. I'm trying to cover my fat lady's leg. And she says, well, I don't care. She says, you look lovely in these dresses. So maybe it's not so lovely in a grey one, because this is like grey herringbone. I don't know if you can see that. It's a grey herringbone. Although I do like grey herringbone. It's rather nice. It's a jersey. So it's very nice and warm. And it's, although it's July, and although we're supposed to be getting summer weather, it's been flipping cold. So this, I put this on and I thought this will keep me warm for the day, and it has. What am I going to tell? What else will we tell her? We've told her about the dicky bird that you killed. Yes. Oh, I must film this one time. His Lordship. He's been almost breaking every light bulb and every well, he's been going around annoying me by picking up a tea towel, and I keep telling him, if you use that tea towel, you're not what would go straight in the washing machine, because I'm not using that. If he's seen a fly in the house, he's doing that all the time with a tea towel. So guess what? I went and ordered one of these tennis rackets that electrocute the flies. God, I wish I hadn't got it. He's now playing tennis all the time, and I keep going into the room. He's standing there with the racket, and I'm going, what are you doing? He says, I'm going to get that fly. I'm going to get that fly. So he's just gone berserk trying to catch these flies with his tennis racket. I must film it one day, because he really makes me laugh the way he goes on. He's standing perfectly still, waiting for this fly, and then there you go. Darn it, I missed it. Right, well, anyway, I think I've talked far too much, and I haven't really shown you much. But I know that you do like me to do a natter now and again, so this is going to be a natteroni. A natteroni of a, it's a natter one. Thank you, all of you who've sent those kind messages. I did say that at the start, but I'm going to say it again. Some great messages. I've read them all. I'm really thankful to you all. Somebody asked me about my garden plants. Well, there's a story I've got to tell you, and if it's nice tomorrow, if I get a chance to go out in the garden, I shall show you my garden plants, because someone said, what's your garden like with all these plants? That's another story, so just hang on and wait until tomorrow and I'll tell you a bit more about it. So until tomorrow, I'll try and do it more often. I shall try and get on and vlog tomorrow. Catch you next time. Bye.